Okay, so as a lot of you guys know, as a lot of you guys know on this channel, my dad a year and a half ago, a couple years ago, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And it has been a very interesting ride, and I don't talk about it often, and it's mostly because I'm not sure how morally correct it is to do. I've really been fighting with myself on whether or not this is a right thing to talk about. In some ways this channel is about what I go through and what I've learned from it and the positives, and this is a pretty significant life event that you'd think, I'd want to talk about it, but at the same time it's like these are people's lives and it's not just me, and it's a hard thing, and for a long time I haven't talked about it, but I've really been thinking about whether or not this could be useful for somebody to feel less alone, or to help them understand what's going on, or maybe prepare them for what they're about to go through, and it's important to me, so I'm making this video, pretty much. That's pretty much it. My dad a couple years ago was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Both of his parents passed away from dementia or Alzheimer's. My grandfather from dementia, my grandmother from Alzheimer's. And we kind of knew, or we were kind of worried that it was going to hit my dad, and it did. But it hit my dad a lot earlier than we thought it was going to. So because of that, I was not ready for it at all, and I had a lot of selfish thoughts at first. I had a lot of thoughts of like, I'm too young for this, I'm not ready for this, why does this have to happen to me? And I was extremely caught up in my own stuff, and it was wrong, and I still feel really guilty about it today, but I think that it's a pretty natural response. And it wasn't until my dad progressed on that I started to shift my feelings of anger and frustration and sadness to him, and realizing that this is a person that was forced to retire early and can't even enjoy retirement. Like, that just sucks, And I think that this whole experience has really sculpted and molded me in a way that I didn't even know I was, capable of being molded into, and has taught me a lot of things, and I wanted to share a couple of things, or at least talk about a couple of things that you might want to get ready for if you're going to go through this, or you're worried about this or whatever, or you're just curious. So that's why I'm talking about it today. I think the first thing I want to talk about is the biggest thing that I wish somebody told me about, and that's that Alzheimer's is not a slow regression. It's not a slow deterioration at all. You think in your head it's going to do this, but it doesn't do that at all. It does, you plateau and then it drops, and then plateau and then it drops. So, one day my dad went from just forgetting small things and it kind of being funny, to forgetting that 911 was the emergency number, or not being able to drive, and all these other things, and now to the point where conversations are jumbled, and it's very hard to really get an anchored, conversation. And I wish that I knew that in advance, because recovery, or quick recovery from these plateau and drops, are super important. You want to be able to spend as much time with that person in that moment, and be with that person in that state, because it really is ever changing. It really feels ever changing, and every time a drop happens, it feels like your loved one has passed away again. It feels like they've died, and that has been really hard. And I know that probably the next step for me of feeling that way is going to be when my dad doesn't know who I am anymore. So, I'm not ready for that. I think that the most important thing to talk about, even though I'm crying, I really didn't want to cry for this, It's like remembering that the most important thing is making that person happy. You know, don't be frustrated if they can't answer questions. Because them being happy is what's most important. So, yeah. Don't try and push them. Try not to laugh at them. I know that laughing or getting frustrated is a coping mechanism. I've definitely done it. And it sucks because you think if you get more frustrated, they'll think harder. It's like you think in your head, like if they think harder, it will manifest, but it's not how it works. It just hurts them. So they only care about being happy. I mean, everybody wants to be happy, so. The best way to think about it, for me at least, is that my dad is still in there. He's just jumbled, and that he still is extremely happy to see me, and he still loves me a lot. And I deserve to love him back, and not be frustrated at him. It's what unconditional love is, right? So this channel isn't about just wallowing in sad things, and I don't want it to be that way, and I don't want this video to be that way. And even though I might come off as sad, I think it's important to think about the positives of this and what this is, in reality, which is molding me as a person. And how I react to it is very important. And I think that looking at the positives are really important as well, not only for me, but, for you guys that might be looking at it. And I want to say, the first thing that I've realized is how important family is, and I don't think I would have realized it without something like this. It's you don't realize what you have until it's gone. So, my mom loves my dad so much, and I am so lucky to have role models like that, parents that love each other like that, because if my dad didn't have my mom, I don't even know, it'd suck. And my family is great and very supportive and amazing, and I appreciate my dad so much, and I don't think I can imagine having a better father. So yeah, I think that I've really learned what is important to me in a relationship. I think I've learned what's important to me in relationships in general, friendships, a boyfriend, a friend. I already said friends, fuck. And I think that I am tougher and understand more so what is important to me in life. That's what this is. It's like you're getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and eventually you'll come out and you'll be better for it. And that's how I'm looking at it. People wanted me to talk about how you cope with your loved one forgetting you, and I haven't been through that yet. The closest I've been through is my dad forgetting what sibling I am, but he still knows I'm one of his kids, and there's still that love there and stuff, and I'm not sure, how that's going to go. I'm pretty scared about it, but I think that I'm going to try and hold my belief that he's still in there, and I can still make him happy, and that's all that I need. I mean, he's given me so much my whole life, intellectually and, support-wise and everything else, and it's only right that I give it back at this point. So that's what I'm going to try to do no matter what. And I think it's really important to keep going and keep seeing him and all of that. And I hope that if you're going through this, as hard as it is, go and see them and love them. And I really think that I have a new appreciation for things. So I think those are some positives. I also think that if you're grieving somebody, you're incredibly lucky that you have somebody that you can care about like that. A lot of people don't have that. I feel really lucky, And, you know, if you're grieving somebody, you really love them, and they're lucky to have that. They're lucky to have you, and it's good to remember that. This is an unfortunate byproduct of having one of the best things that you could possibly have, you know, in this world, which is loved ones. So, that's how I want to end it. If you're sad about somebody that you've either lost or are losing, you're lucky, because some people don't get to feel any of that. So, I hope this helps. It's like, yeah, I hope it helps. I'm trying to help. That's what this, it's really what I want this channel to be about, and it's really what I want this video to be about. So, I hope this helps somebody, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, whenever that is. Until then, peace.